Delhi's air quality worsened to the very poor category on Diwali as per data from the Central Pollution Control Board. But compared to the last 4 Diwalis, the AQI or the pollution level is the lowest at 312. Let's understand the reasons for this and also what's the forecast for the coming few days. We have with us Mr. V.K. Soni, who is the head of the Environmental Monitoring Research Center at the IMD. So thank you very much for joining us. So could you tell us what are the reasons behind the pollution not being at par with the last few years and being the lowest in the last 4 years?
Yeah, so actually just before Diwali, it went in very poor category on 23rd. On Diwali day, it was again in very poor category. But this year, actually, if we compare from the last 4 years, then this Diwali appears to be relatively very clean. And the air quality index right now is around 323. Again, it is in very poor category, but we see that good improvement will be there in coming days.
Right. So what are the reasons that you're seeing behind the air quality index being lower in the last 4 years?
Yeah, so this year actually the Diwali falls in October, and October is a little warmer as compared to November. So and winds also favored this time, and winds were northwesterly, but relatively better wind speed. And if you see, then this year actually this GREP stage 2 was implemented on 19th of October. Means 3 days in advance of what we predicted that it may go in very poor category on 22nd October. So the control measures taken by the Commission and Delhi government has really added to the improvement of air quality. So firecrackers were less this time, traffic congestion was less, and the road dust was also less. So all these three things together went in favor of better air quality.
So can we expect the air quality to remain at these levels? Will it improve in the coming few days and few weeks, or will it get worse?
We generally provide the forecast for next 1 week, and if you see that the these fine particles remain in the atmosphere for 2 to 3 days. So air quality is likely to remain in lower end of very poor category for next 3 days. And then gradually this improvement will be there.
Right. So you're saying that gradually it'll improve and Diwali is now over. So can we say that the worst is over when it comes to pollution, at least for this season?
For October, we can say that there won't be any extreme event. But in coming season, means in November, December, meteorology is very unfavorable. So we have to see the meteorology, and then if additional emissions come into the atmosphere, then that will aggravate the situation.
So the worst of October Diwali pollution is over?
Yeah, worst of October month is over.
Yeah. So you were also mentioning the GRAP measures that were taken. Which were the specific measures that you think worked the best in controlling pollution?
Yeah, actually the dust, particularly the road dust, is one of the major pollution in Delhi and NCR region. So that has been controlled. Construction dust has been controlled because the stage 1 was implemented well in advance, and stage 2 was implemented on 19th October. And then traffic congestion and the additional emission from firecrackers were less this time. So all these control measures have contributed for better air quality.
Right. So you mentioned all of these reasons and causes, but usually all politicians say that it's because of stubble burning. So what is the contribution of stubble burning in Delhi's air pollution, and could it probably increase the threat in the months to come in November, and when could it finally peak?
Stubble burning actually brings the additional amount of pollutancy. So when the meteorology is favorable for transportation of these stubble burning pollutants towards Delhi, then a sudden spike in air quality levels is seen here. But that depends on what kind of fire counts are there and what is the meteorology. Otherwise, the fire emissions generally don't contribute much.
Right. The share is close to 2 to 3% if we can put that figure. So my last question to you. So do you think that the policies that have been put in place to control pollution are working? You're saying that GRAP is working. So, I mean, there's still a long way to go and there's still a lot to improve on. But what are your closing comments on the policies that have been implemented?
So basically the control measures are long-term measures actually. So we have to see that these are continuously implemented and people should follow the advice of these control authorities, and then we can bring the better air quality back.
Right. And the very poor category means that it's impacting everybody who's breathing this air. What does the very poor category mean, sir?
Very poor category has means health impacts on almost everybody. So,
Even on healthy people.
Even on healthy people. Yes.
Thank you very much, sir, for speaking to us. So as you heard sir saying that the air quality index is still in the very poor category. That means it's still impacting both healthy people and people who have existing diseases. Though it's the lowest pollution level in the last 4 years, and that's because of favorable weather conditions, favorable wind conditions, and also GRAP measures, the Graded Response Action Plan measures that have been working. In New Delhi, with camera person Sudesh Kumar Ram, Priyanshi Sharma for NDTV.